Bonsoir à tous, bienvenue sur le plateau Equinose Soir, votre décryptage quotidien de l'actualité de lundi à vendredi, 19h, 21h, 18h, 20h, GMT. Des établissements scolaires comme nouveau champ d'expérimentation de la terreur par des groupes armés. C'est ce qui ressort du communiqué du gouvernement signé René-Emmanuel Sadi, ministre de la Communication et porte-parole du gouvernement. Les journées des 3 et 4 novembre 2020 auront été particulièrement difficiles pour l'ensemble de la communauté éducative des régions nord-ouest et sud-ouest du Cameroun. Des tirs en direction des locaux de l'Ongla compréhensive collège de Bamenda à l'incendie des locaux de Koulou Memorial College de Limbé, en passant par le kidnapping de 10 élèves et 6 enseignants de la Presbyterian School Nursery en Primary et de Kumbo. Partout, c'était la désolation. Pour le gouvernement de la République, je le cite, ces actes odieux et lâches commis contre les jeunes apprenants et leurs formateurs dans le but de dissuader les parents d'envoyer leurs enfants à l'école et de créer la psychose au sein de la communauté éducative. Fin de citation. Madame, Monsieur, tout à l'heure à 20h, c'est la grande édition d'information présentée par Julien Berthe Pissaille. Tout de suite après le débrief du journal et tout de suite le fait du jour. Limbé, école attaquée, élèves et enseignants dénudés. Pour en parler, nous avons organisé un panel de nos compatriotes d'expression anglaise ce soir. You are welcome. Adenu, you're the first one to speak. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. It's my pleasure being here today, I think for the first time, to come and let's see what we can do to rescue the situation in the northwest and the southwest regions of Cameroon.
Ok, je rappelle que vous êtes enseignant, c'est bien cela?
Yeah, Government Balengwa High School et Kangte in Kongsamba.
Ok. Augustine, when do you welcome?
Thank you, Seth Alain Otto. I'm not saying that I'm happy to be here.
Yes, you know.
I just want to say that it's an opportunity or it's an appointment that destiny had put it that I have to be part of this panel to talk about an issue that I am bleeding in my heart. So if I want to say that I'm happy to be here, the gods of heaven will punish me. I'm very, very unhappy. But I have to come because I'm a journalist by profession like you, and our duty is to be the eyes of the blind, the mouthpiece of the dumb, the ears of the deaf, and of course, to cry out against injustices for a society that is draining, for a society that is drowning, the Cameroonian society that is eroding, and no one seems to do anything about it. So I am telling you that I'm just here because first and foremost, the whole of this day I've been devastated. Since the 24th of October, I stayed for 3 good days without food because I asked myself, is it not my child? Are these not my children? Slaughtered like goats, butchered because they are for their fundamental right, which is education, which cannot be denied from any other child. I asked myself so many questions. And today when the official ceremony was taking place, I still live that same scenario. I still live that same emotion burning through my bloodstream. I say, so these 7 children are going beyond the grave on the altars of egoistic politicians, on the altar of evildoers, on the altar of satanism. I said it has to stop. Let it stop.
Okay.
But then, when I was just saying let it stop, wow, I heard of the the adoption
Yes.
of 11 teachers in the Presbyterian school in Kumbu. Thank God, their kidnappers led the students back.
Yes.
The dramatic twist was yesterday that students would have been roasted like chickens, like fish in a school establishment in Limbé. For the very first time, you see the manner in which human dignity had lost its value in this country, where they can strip naked boys and girls, and they were running on the street. Wow. You will see their undies on the floor of the classroom. Oh, come on. I begin to ask myself, when I was a schoolboy in the 80s, Cameroonians were referred as men and women of integrity. Where has that value gone to? Where are these fundamental values of this noblest nation created by the God of heaven, not by a human person on this planet Earth?
Okay.
Where has they gone to?
Ok, voilà, on va revenir on finit la présentation. C'est très touchant, votre entrée en matière, Augustin Wendou. À côté de vous, barista Tamfouricha.
Yes, good evening, Sir Chalin.
Yeah.
We mourn and we continue to mourn all the innocent souls who are living the sin in a manner that we cannot explain. Through my voice, the Cameroon Renaissance Movement continue to extend its sympathy and sincere condolences to the children that departed in Kumba the 24th, and to all those who have been victim of this crisis since 4 years today. We continue to say that it is high time we think in putting politics aside, or rethinking the politics that we are putting in place to resolve this political crisis and give peace a chance, no matter the manner in which it has to come. The what we are losing already is incomprehensible, unacceptable. We are using all the human values that a human being can believe to live. And if we have to live in a society or in a country like Cameroon, where your security of going or of studying is not guaranteed, then we should be asking a question to have an answer, because for 4 years now, the security situation is very, very porous. You cannot freely move about your activity. Your goods are not secured. We have innocent children. Now it's at the level of schools where you have kids whose only crime was to go and seek for knowledge. Today, we see them being massacred. We see them being humiliated. We see them having inhumane treatment. My other panel has just cited some of them. We say it's deplorable, and it's high time those who are in the ruling power, those who have the command of authorities today, they should not forget the oath which they took when they acceded to power, to protect the life of Cameroonians and the security of Cameroonians. And it's high time we wake up to make that be.
Ok. On va terminer ce tour avec Sr. Barista Achudulus. Bonsoir, Barista.
Good evening, Serge. Good evening, the panelists. And good evening, Cameroon. As you must all have noticed, we are all in black, which means all of us have a heavy heart, and we are totally in disagreement with the actions that were carried out against our own kids. Because let me tell you, those kids are ours. They belong to all of us. Nobody knows how God does it, but when the kids come to this world, it belongs to all of us. They belong to all of us. I will first of all send my morning greetings to the bereaved families, and join my voice with everybody on this panel to tell them that we are with them. They should take heart, and that we are praying that God Almighty should receive these our kids and give them perfect and absolute peace where it matters. And we know where it matters as Christians is in heaven. These kids never merited what happened to them. They never planned it. They never expected it. But it just came on them because of the devil. I will say again, and I repeat it, this is not because of politics. This is not because of people wanting a piece of land. This is not because of people wanting to separate. This is not because of people thinking different from others. It is, these kids were killed as a sacrificial lamb to the devil. If you notice, I always repeat it, watch all those guys who carry guns and cutlasses and say they are warriors or soldiers or whatever. They carry on themselves amulets, talisman, funny bags, which to them protects them from being killed. And if you know what is Odeshi is a devil. Odeshi is an incarnation of the devil in Nigeria. And everybody who adheres to that cult has to make sacrifices for the devil. And those sacrifices is what? Kill children and women. If you notice, all of them have been doing that to have the pseudo strength that they believe that they have. The surprising thing is that the so-called cessationist movement is managed by people who call themselves pastors, Pentecostal pastors. It means people pray to God. But how can you be a God-fearing gentleman, a God-fearing human being? Then you appeal to the devil to help you in your endeavors. When God is there. I remember these same guys were saying the struggle for cessation was a God-given struggle. It was God-protected struggle. But when I see that they are foot soldiers who carry guns, which they think is protecting them, are wearing amulets and those things, it means they are telling lies to the population. It means they've signed pacts with the devil, and the devil is what is controlling them. Why didn't they go to a place where you have big men, matured men, like in the market or whatever? Why don't you come to face people like you and me? Because if somebody comes to attack me, I can fight for myself. They go to kids and women because they're vulnerable. So whoever is still believing in these thugs, in these thieves, in these devils, well, one day you'll be judged. And I believe strongly that day will not be far from today.
Ok. Adé Agnew, je commence par vous. On a appris il y a quelques jours du côté de Kumbo, le kidnapping, ils sont même encore parce les élèves ont été libérés, mais les enseignants restent. Vous, en tant qu'enseignant, ça a commencé avec Vuntaï au niveau de Bamenda Nkwen. On a retrouvé, il a été décapité. Vous, aujourd'hui, en tant qu'enseignant, on n'oublie pas l'épisode d'hier, où on voit des enseignants dénudés. Comment vous vous sentez, vous, en tant qu'enseignant? Lorsque vous regardez tout ça, assassinat, kidnapping, et même ce qu'on a vu hier, c'est-à-dire qu'on déshabille un enseignant, il est aux côtés de ses élèves. Comment vous vous sentez?
Well, I will say this is very much uncalled for, and those who are doing these actions are not educated people, because if all of us seated here went through school, we know the values of our teachers. Those who have engaged themselves into such barbaric actions, such dehumanizing actions, if they knew the value of their teachers, they would not go to capture teachers. I am still in communications with some of my colleagues in Kumbo because it seems like somebody very close to us. When I talk some of us who mark the GC, some of the GC examiners are involved in that arrest in Kumbo. And we are asking, what do they want? Because when they came, they took away teachers, 11 teachers, and then they asked students to go away. I think I saw some videos, but after some time, they were taken down the social media. I don't know why. We want to, as a teacher, I want to actually appeal to all of us Cameroonians, every human being who knows the value of a teacher. I think in this world, after a medical doctor is a teacher, and we don't joke with their teachers. When my son comes back from school, he said, my teacher have said this. And when I say it is the other way around, he says, no, the teacher is the right person. So if we all know the values of teachers, we should not go to this level. I want to join our voices to say, yes, we don't go to attack schools. We don't go to attack churches. if there is somebody who have hurt you, if you are not satisfied with that, we don't go to attack hospitals. But we have seen all of these places attacked. Hospitals were burned in Kumba, hospitals were burned in Kumba and Bamenda, and they even came right to my own village, and they almost attacked the hospital there. We don't go and attack all of these, especially, let me come back to schools and to students. What have these poor students done? And even when you come, if you want to send them out of class, why must you dehumanize them? Ask boys and girls to undress, even teachers. How do you undress me in front of my own students? How will I feel in front of that student tomorrow when I come back to class? So we have to join our voices all as Cameroonians and ask anybody who is encouraging this nonsense, this rubbish in this country, to stop it now. It is not for any reason that teachers, students should be touched. It is an inalienable right for every single child in the world to be educated. When you don't pay the fees of your child, you are supposed to be sent to jail. I think there are lawyers here. If you don't pay the fees of your child, and even you are depriving that child of education.
That's right.
I think it is a right by the United Nations, by the United Nations Human Rights Declaration, that we must send our children to school. When we send them to school, look at what they do to them now. They have, when I heard about my own alma mater, Longla College in Bamenda being touched, my child was in Longla some few years ago, I started asking, what if he was my own son? Because when this thing started in 2016, my child was just boggled and put in a yes. Imagine the comfort, the discomfort to leave Bamenda in a yes to Douala. And then the principal just called me, go and pick your child in a Bonaberi. I think I collected the values of the child some few weeks ago in a school in Bamenda. Then when these children were killed in Limbé the other day, the 7 of them, whom I would like that the Cameroonian, Kumba, excuse me, they are like that the Cameroonian Christians, the churches and all the like, we should classify these children as martyrs. I don't know why we are still delaying. I'm happy they were given a befitting burial this afternoon.
Le Premier ministre était déjà là.
Yes.
On espère que la nation va faire autre chose pour ces.
Yes.
Vous voulez qu'il soit des...
The Pope came into this.
Ouais.
Whether they were Catholics or not, I don't know how they do classify martyrs in the world, but these children are supposed to be considered as martyrs. When I saw them, when I saw the corpses, the 7 corpses this afternoon, unfortunately there was an incident, one of the vehicles caught fire and all those things. When I saw it and I saw the Cameroon flag on it, I said, oh, thank God, this nation have started recognizing its own. These children have offered their blood for the benefit of tomorrow. I think I will end by citing the lines of one of my own poem, in which I ended by saying, for your tomorrow I have offered my today. I think these children are supposed to be smiling wherever they are and telling those younger generations that for their own tomorrow, they offer their today for a better Cameroon.
Ok, Augustin Wendou, j'ai envie de vous poser cette question, vous également. Est-ce que vous comprenez pourquoi on s'attaque à l'école? Pourquoi l'école?
It's a very difficult question. I have asked this question time and again. What is the role of children in a political struggle? Because Senior Barrister Ashu Julius said it's not a political problem. It is a political problem. Because the Anglophone crisis is political and needs a political solution. But then, what is the role of children in that struggle? What is the role of children in that struggle? We saw the Anglophone crisis did not start today. It dated back before I was born. I grew up, saw the Chief Ayamba Otos, the Nufon Galas in the SCNC. But the fundamental question I'm asking is, how did we come to this? Today schools have been attacked. Children have been sacrificed. I want to come back to my elder brother who said that these children should be declared martyrs. I think that the church is not done yet. Definitely they are martyrs, because the church would definitely pronounce on that. Yes, the church do not rush, because going by the nature at which these children died, there is no gainsaying. Because
le pape François a fait
the
sortir.
Bible says that children are angels.
Yes.
Senior Barrister Julius Ashu said they are in heaven. There is no doubt about it. They are in heaven. That is why the sovereign Roman pontiff, Pope Francis, dedicated his whole general audience on the Kumba massacre and called Kumba 4 times. I said, now God is speaking. Because when church's leader speaks, like the Pope, it is God which is speaking. Because it's the servant of God. God is speaking to Cameroon. The finger of God is pointing at Cameroon. Are we going to wait that God wave his finger so that the situation become anarchical or chaotic? I am coming back to your question to say I don't know the role children play in a political struggle. The children massacred in Kumba do not know anything about the Anglophone crisis. Why are they sacrificed? Why are they killed? Because we come to talk here. The Kumba massacre was not the first. You have the Pinin massacre. You have the Garbo massacre. Did somebody stop it? Now Kumba came. What I lived the third day that I could not eat such Alain Otto is because of the theater I found Cameroonians playing. All the wheeling on the street, crying with palm peace plants. It's about what? How long are we going to cry? How long are we going to carry peace plans? I even asked myself, all those women marching on the street, were they really in sympathy to what has happened? Are there not people even behind some of those women's groups to be going about marching? And after the marching, and so what? What next?
What next?
What next? What next is that Kumbo had seen 11 teachers adopted. Thank God the students are released. Yeah. What next is that, of course, the Memorial College in Limbé, Kulu Memorial College, had students stripped naked, teachers tortured. Is that what we are waiting for again? So I want to ask this question. How did we come to this? Because, you know, I have a panel like yours. All of them, but for this, they are equally my panelists. I became bewildered when a panelist on my panel said, these are the consequences of war. That the killing of children, innocent children, is the consequences of war. Which war? Cameroon is assaulted by which nation? We know a external aggressor in Cameroon was Boko Haram. Said Alain Otto, I contributed. I, Augustine Wendundoye, I contributed. The #1 personality of this region can bear me witness that during that day they were raising funds to fight Boko Haram. I got up with my own symbolic contribution. But can I contribute that they should go and slaughter my brothers and sisters, even if they have been taken hostage by the devil? I say no. I contributed because Boko Haram were they are external aggressors. This is what the mandate Cameroon and Cameroonians gave to the father of the nation to protect the lives and property of Cameroonians, to defend the territorial integrity of this nation. That is why we gave a mandate to the regime. But I want to ask that successive massacres, how many times will government officials go for official funerals? Is that what Cameroonians want? Is the event in Kumba today giving an honor to anybody? I say no, because reporters put their microphones to the mouth of the parents of the children killed, And they said it, that no amount of punishment melted upon the killers of their children can take away the bitterness, the sorrow, the sadness that they have been plunged into. I think that we have come this far because such Alain, Cameroonians have lost the sense of the respect for the dignity of the human person. The respect for the dignity of the human person is completely relegated to the background in Cameroon. That is why I'm asking myself, we are here on the talk show in Douala, in Yaoundé. Can that happen in anywhere in Boya? In the Northwest region? People will go and even have phones, make, and they think that all is well. I want to say that nothing is well in this country. In as much as Cameroonians are slaughtered like dogs every day. No way. Whether you live in Ivory Tower in Douala, hey, you are a target, man. So, can this be put to a stop? I want to ask, killings, whether it's coming from A or B, Augustine Wendundoye, I say I'm against. Because no single person creates a human being. No single person creates a human being. The light God created you and I in his holy image and likeness, and that is what Exodus 20:13 say, thou shalt not kill. The fifth commandment say, thou shalt not kill. How can you kill? We have seen defense forces killed. We have seen separatist fighters killed. We are now seeing civilians killed. Oh, come on, the future of this nation is being destroyed. For what? And I am asking, who is to say stop? The father of the nation is alive. The father of the nation, the president of this country is no longer just head of state. He is the father of the nation. Is it not sufficient enough to stay stop? Yes.
Ok, voilà. Permettez donc que je peux prendre la réaction d'abord de Barrister Achou. Face à ces images, il a dit, est-ce que on va continuer avec des deuils nationaux? Est-ce que le président, il n'est pas temps pour le président de sortir pour cette crise? Permettez d'envoyer les émissaires et tout ça. Les enfants veulent voir le père.
This is exactly the type of speeches those who are killing want to be heard. What I just said. He's encouraging them to go ahead. Because you see, what we don't understand, let's not be naive. Killing children, carrying guns to fight, fighting, closing up schools, burning hospitals, is not politics. How can you say this is politics? This is not politics, Mr. Augustine.
What is the root?
Please,
the root cause?
I didn't disturb when you were talking.
Thank you.
You are not the anchor man here now for today. How can you say kidnapping kids, kidnapping teachers, cutting hands, burning hospitals, carrying guns on civilians, and you say it is politics? What you have just said is what those guys want you people to say, and that gives them the honors to continue. That gives them the force to continue what they are doing. Instead of denouncing the person who has perpetrated the offense, you are calling on the head of state to decree peace. Can peace be decreed? Please, let's be serious. Politically, so many things have been put in place to say, look, you guys who want to carry guns are Cameroonians. We would like to talk with you. Close to 400 of them have deposited the guns and they are talking with the government. Some have refused. You want the government, because of politics, to carry guns on them? They are Cameroonians, for goodness sake. What we should do is to denounce the acts of violence against the person who does it. You cannot come into my home. You take over my home. And you want me to sign a peace treaty with you? You come into my house. You molest my children. You molest everybody. And you say me, the chief of the head of the house, should say, no, despite being killed, despite having seen my daughter being killed there, I should make peace. What the hell? I've said this again. What is going on has nothing to do with politics. Nothing. It has to do with the devil. If you want to continue, you want to encourage them to continue, fine. You've quoted God here, talk about God here, talk about the Pope and the religious leaders, good. But stop blaming others for the acts of others. Start by blaming themselves. That you guys who took these guns and went to Kumba to kill kids, who do you think you are? Start by asking those guys who went to Kulu, Memorial in Limbé to carry away the kids by making them look dirty. Because you remove the dresses of a kid, allow the kid to move on the road, that kid should be dirty. He should look I said, look to become mean. It's going to have a complex his whole life. We should ask them, what do you people think you are? You go to Kubo and ask those guys who kidnap kids and teachers and ask them, equal in the face, who do you think you are? And stop displacing the problem. Stop politicizing the problem. Because it means you want to tell me that Nico Fundi, Professor Kamto, Belo Boba, Chiruma, President Pobia are not doing politics? You want them to carry guns? Is that what the data politics you want this country to go on should be doing? That if you want to do politics, we don't share opinion and carry guns? You want to split the Dozo? I'm a unionist. You want me to go and take my own gun because I want to do politics and fight with them and fight with those guys who are kidnapping kids? Is that what you want? Please, let's look at the problem and face it. SCNC started their fights how many years ago? They've never carried guns. Who are these hoodlums? Thugs, thieves, bandits. Why are they carrying guns now? To do what? Do they think that they are more intelligent than their parents? A political fight is not meant for one day. And you should know that when you start a war, you don't stop the war by peace, by decree. As you want that the president will come and say stop. What can the president do in the face of Nikon popes like this who come to kill our kids? You want to say, oh, don't kill our kids again, stop, I sign the decree? Is that what you're looking for? Please, let's be consequential. Let's not follow the dictates of these guys. That's exactly what they want. And when you start saying it, you're encouraging them. You are not a politician, I know you're a journalist. But we politicians see it differently in the sense that somebody does something, you don't denounce him. That Mr. X or Y, you don't denounce him. But you want Mr. B, who never came, who was never there, to come and say, stop, don't do it again. Come on.
Mais c'est le chef de l'État.
Le chef de l'État a pris des mesures. Il a décidé comme chef de l'État. Soit il est chef de l'État ou pas. Il a le droit de décider comme il veut. He has the right to decide the way he thinks. If you think that his policies are not good enough, beat him to elections. But once he has won elections, allow him to do it the way he thinks he should do it. It's not for you to come and sit on the TV to tell the head of state what to do. But I'm telling you again, why do we minimize the effect of those 400 plus guys who've deposited their arms and they're in the DDR center? Why should we minimize that effect? Is that not a good example for the others to emulate? That's a good example. To me, those are the type of things we encourage. That, okay, there's a center there. If you don't want to shoot or want to fight, you think you can say something, drop your guns. How can I come and be talking to you? If you have a gun, do you think I'll come here?
No.
I'll not come here to talk to you. You can only carry the gun. It's easy to remove and shoot. But that's what we want it to. That's what we want it to. That's what we are supposed to do. Everything to stop it. Let's face the problem. Let's face those guys. I'm not lying to you. If my children were in school, rather than running to go and remove them, I would take a stick and stand and wait for them to kill me. My child has to go to school. Because you can't even say my child has to go to school. And you move that child from school and keep me at home. Can that same guy come to your house? They used to come. Well, do you think that school, your home is more protective than the school? No. So we have to face this problem. We have to face it. I was in Mameda, in Cameroon, when I saw parents got 4 guys on the bike who came to kidnap kids in school and got them well beaten. That's the lesson that's what we're supposed to start. And they shouldn't forget that when one's institutions or individuals build schools, it is first of all a business, and secondly, a milieu to educate, to prepare for the future. Why are they dampening the future of these children? Why do these guys who think that they have a country which is different from us, why do they want to dampen the future of these kids? Why do they want to kill the businesses of those who put in the hard-earned currency to build schools for children? No. Okay. Let's face it.
Voilà.
Let's face it.
Barrister Tamfo.
I want to differ with my colleague because he says it is not a political problem, but political solutions are used to resolve the crisis. I think there's a contradiction somewhere. We are not ignorant about the history of this country. And to say that what is ongoing in the Northwest and in the Southwest today with what we are having as, I can say, an unfolding of events from all what is started is making ourselves a mockery of not knowing the history of this country. We know exactly that what is ongoing today is as a result of a poor political settlement between the regions in the Northwest and Southwest with the regions of La République du Cameroun. That is the truth. And it now depended on the political leader on how he solved it. The problem does not date 4 years ago. It has just...
Barrister, on est d'accord.
Good.
Mais est-ce que, comme il dit, est-ce que c'est les enfants, ceux qu'on a tués? Prenons ceux de combat.
Good.
Qu'est-ce qu'ils ont à voir dans cette affaire?
Exactly.
Pourquoi c'est eux qui doivent payer la note? C'est ça le problème.
Good. Children are not politicians.
Oui.
Good. I accept. In as far as we condemn the acts of those people, that it is not proper. Children are not politicians. The politicians should do the politics and allow the kids. So saying that the reflection here is not about politics is refusing to assume its responsibility. We know that this whole issue that has transformed now that children are now being attacked, schools are being attacked, is a series of events. We all know how it started. We have been calling the attention of the government, saying that if we allow this thing to continue, it will take other twists. People have even been jailed, sent to prison, simply because they have continued to draw the attention of the government that please have a watchful eye, review the strategy you put in place, because they remain in a posture of force, saying that no, it is not a political problem. Okay, it wasn't a political problem. Why was the Grand National Dialogue convened? Is that not politics? Why have they put in place some commissions to resolve the problem? Is that not politics? Let's accept facts. It is a political problem, and to a political problem, you should have a political solution. The political leaders who are here should accept that they have failed in resolving the Anglophone crisis, and that the strategy put in place is continually failing us. It's a political problem. We are not we are condemning the acts. Nobody can sit on this platform and say he's encouraging what is happening to kids. Today we are now those kids. Today we are having a series of kids being killed. Ok, what will come tomorrow?
On va partager cette nouvelle qu'on apprend à l'instant. Le cardinal Toumi et le fond de Soir viennent d'être kidnappés. Hein.
Good.
Ils ont été kidnappés au niveau de Baba, dans le, je crois que c'est Ngoketunja. Voilà. Wow. Par des hommes armés. Des hommes armés. Hein. Ils allaient à Banso.
Good.
Voilà, le cardinal Toumi et le fond de Soir kidnappé.
Good. Okay. Let me talk. Okay. We have in Cameroon a head of state who has to guarantee the security of Cameroonians. Now, if he is confronted with armed groups, because the kidnapped is because maybe a fraction who is not happy with something or how political issues are being treated is rising up maybe with their methods, which we condemn it and we say that wasn't the best way. That is politics. Okay, now we are living in a state of insecurity. Because don't be surprised, that convoy has been kidnapped. What next? Maybe tomorrow you hear they have been killed, and we'll come here, we'll sit here and go and attend and cry for funeral. We have to say enough is enough. The head of state who took the mandate through means that are unfavorable should assume his responsibility. Let us see him acting. If he's incapable of acting, he should take the humble step to resign, because we will not continue to accept living from one incident to the other. The country is in a total insecurity, and you cannot stop these people without talking or without putting in place peaceful avenues on how we come about it. That you forget about the force that they have been trying to demonstrate for 4 years today. It is not working. They are killing their own selves, and in it, a lot of economic gains are being manipulated up to the point that you don't know who is who. Because when you even look at some of the videos critically, you want to believe that how can a school be in a country where we say we have top security and you don't have guards there? But if the president of a political party raises up to say, I want to exercise my right, you will see tons of trucks of military people guarding his house as if he has committed the biggest crime on earth. We should say, let's be serious. I would have expected the same military disposition in the school in Kumba. If they think about using force, I would have expected the same military disposition which is before the residents of Morris come to in the schools in Limbé. Those people came in the space of no time. They have ridiculed students and teachers, and they left. That is when you see the military coming. What tells you that even among the government officials, when you look at the video critically, there is something you need to understand. With the critical mind of a lawyer, I have so many questions I ask myself. But time has come for us to put an end and understand that, or accept that those who are in command of the political situation today are failing, and it is high time that we tell him, assume your responsibility or resign, because you exceeded power. And on his anniversary is coming on the 6th of November.
I think it's today even.
Tomorrow. He should take the humble decision and come out and tell Cameroonians that I am tired, I am failing, or I am incompetent to continue to exercise my job, and resign and give to somebody who can do it as the Constitution provides.
Adé, sur cette nouvelle, le cardinal Toumi qui est kidnappé, c'est un autre message que les hommes, ces bandes armées envoient?
Well, as now we still have to investigate. One of the things that I'm discovering on this table is we already make accusing fingers. We say this A or B or C has done this. And there are so many of these things that happens. When you verify, finally those whom you accuse at the origin are not those who have committed the crimes. For instance, I was in my compound in Bamenda on the 1st of December 2019. When I came, I just greeted neighbors and then I went into my house.
Okay.
About 30 minutes after, kidnappers came. And when I verified, there were boys in the quarter who have nothing to do with the armed groups.
Ok. Ouais, on va revenir, hein, c'est le temps. Dans un instant, le journal. On va marquer une courte pause, le temps de la publicité. Et ce sera après le 20h de Julien Berthe Bissaï.
Mais, voilà, c'est fort. Ça, c'est le poisson de 1000 francs.
Hé, hey, Asso, tu es là. J'ai ton